Adult learning in today's world. We live in an exciting time. Noel suggests that institutions emerge in response to a need rather than by design. And I think that's true, don't you? That new institutions or organizations emerge because there's some reason, something's going on, and training emerges to support those institutions. So let's take a look at the training needs that exist today. What training needs do you see? Do you use any of these? Think of these things. How exciting a time this is. Domestic robots. Do you have a domestic robot? Do you use Bitcoin? Do you use Zoom? Of course you do. How about Blue Jeans? Do you use voice recognition software? I do. How about a cell phone for GPS, for shopping, entertainment, fitness, photos, training, school? Of course you do. This is an exciting time. But do you have drone technology? And what about Leap motion devices? Do you? How about 3D printing? The world has indeed changed. So look at this. It says, books are a form of outdated technology created in the dark ages for a society devoid of computers, electronic media, or digital data. In today's society, getting information from a book is like calculating math on your fingers and toes. To grade this report, please post your comments on my blog. Well, I won't be doing that. I'll be posting the comments in Moodle and Bannon. So, have you ever heard someone say, well, I'm never taking another class. I'm all done with learning. I just ask you, is that even possible today? I mean, consider that any device that you get today, you don't even come with instructions with it. You have to go online, and then how many pages are those instructions? Oh my goodness. And if you've got a medical issue, where do you go? Online, right? And explore what that issue might be before you go to the doctor. And transportation. Everybody uses e-tickets, right? Well, what about self-driving cars? They're going to be here if you're not using one when you travel. Now, you may be very soon. And of course you're using social media. Which social media are you using? Do you use WhatsApp? Do you use, let's see. What are you using? And entertainment, streaming is where it's at, right? With everything. Well, education, we're learning online. E-learning, e-training. That's where it is, and we need trainers. Think about it. Adult education and training have responded, which affects technology. So are you satisfied with your computer's capability? I'm not. Are you satisfied with your computer operator's capability? Oh my goodness, no. I am certainly not satisfied with my ability. Possibly capability, but not ability. No. So a few years ago, I took a Dragon Naturally Speaking class, and actually that was several years ago right now. Voice recognition software has come a long way, and I've gotten better and better. I have lots of commuting time, or have had recently. I've got an iPhone with Siri. I've got Sirius XM, and that's a staple for me now. And I've got a Spanish on tape course that I love. You probably do too, right? Well, let's think about the challenges for keeping up. This cartoon suggests warning. If you keep your web browser at hot site of the day for too long, your computer may overheat. If this happens, immediately link to the cool site of the day. The cool site. The fuel of change is, without question, technology. Technology is the #1 factor that we're going to discuss in our course this semester. And demographics and globalization are the other two factors. We're going to talk about the nexus of these things, which is where teaching, training, and coaching and mentoring reside. And that is us. That is an opportunity for us. U.S. demographics are changing. Culture affects training participation. There are more seniors retiring and retraining in new fields. Some people are choosing not to retire. Hobbies and careers are blooming. They are burgeoning. Seniors are living longer. There are more people living in their 80s, 90s, and 100s. And they want to learn new things. They want to do things like travel, where they go have Rhodes Scholar activities, and that, my goodness, is a burgeoning field. Health and finance, leisure, volunteerism. Seniors are doing so much that really what used to be 30 years ago, the jobs for teenagers, seniors are taking those jobs. And think of the amount of things that they are learning. My mom is 91. She's a retired counselor, and she does her investments online. She uses a pacemaker defibrillator, and she has a virtual scanner in her assisted living, where it communicates to an organization, a medical organization in Chicago, and then back to her physician. Yes, and that's a couple of times a day. She shops online because she doesn't have a car anymore. She writes stories on the computer and actually is published online. She reads the news and texts on her iPhone. So all of those things have changed so much in her lifetime. Imagine the things that will change in ours. There's a startling growth of the gray population. Adults 65 plus outnumber those 25. Of the 65 plus, of those under 25, of the 65 plus, the fastest growing is 85 plus, and they'll number 7 million in the year 2020, which is now. So imagine what they will be shortly. They're better educated, they're healthier, they're economically better off. And what are they doing with their time? They're taking classes. So, do you see an opportunity for you as an adult educator and trainer? Absolutely. And the growing cultural, ethnic diversity and polarization that's occurring in our country and elsewhere is amazing right now. The median age for white demographic in the U.S. is 40. They're educated, professional, and they have a middle to high income. Hispanic median age right now is 26 to 29. Don't you know that we need these folks for helping us to grow and develop in our country right now? And yet there's a high dropout rate. And these folks are in the service sector and low income. So there's an opportunity right there for training and education. This is the fastest growing minority. 133 million, 30% of the U.S. population will be in 2050. Now, only Mexico has a larger Hispanic population. So this is a huge change. You've noticed in the grocery stores and in so many of the instructions that they're in Spanish. Actually, they're in several languages. But many grocery stores have side-by-side English and Spanish. So notice that's an opportunity for trainers and teachers to learn Spanish and embrace this change in demographics. Increasing integration of economics worldwide is also a change. It's a globalization change. And that's not going away. You've probably noticed that it affects trade issues. U.S. jobs go elsewhere and there are subsidies. But also, you may or may not have noticed that there are U.S. jobs with other countries putting their, not just trade, but they're building their manufacturing in the U.S. And that creates U.S. jobs here. So many goods are made in many countries, or using parts from many countries, that there is very little that is solely U.S. made anymore. And what you might think about that are as positive or negative, it just is, and we need to embrace it. Policy issues, human rights issues, and the issues of our allies are huge right now, and they require instruction and education and training. Business issues, wages, resources, so many things, whether we are communicating outside or inside our own borders. Business has so many cultural issues, as well as globalization and training and production issues that result in a need for trainers. And all of this is training issues, cultures, dialects, and responding, interacting with customers, training issues, and training opportunities. So these are challenges and opportunities for us as adult educators and trainers. Socioeconomic and cultural diversity polarization, yes. And yet, we can help. We as a group can definitely help. So globalization issues create widening chasm between rich and poor. I'm sure you see this in the news. Spreading individualism, Western values homogenization, impact other countries, impact the U.S. with people immigrating. So many issues burgeoning right now. Changing work practices, requiring different kinds of preparation and training. Control of education is shifting to businesses. And that's an opportunity for trainers, right? A shift from goods to services manufacturing in the U.S. That's principally what we're doing for GMP, is services rather than goods manufacturing. And so that's a shift for training and a shift for adult education. Human talent is and remains our most valuable commodity. And so that human talent is learning. Our organizations need to remain learning to be viable. So do you see an opportunity for you? Yes, there are so many resource opportunities. Employee skills become outdated every 3 to 5 years. And many times in those 3 to 5 years, when those employee skills become outdated, that either means training or a new career path. Organizations need to evolve into learning organizations, and we can really help with that. The largest growth categories right now, if you look on the OOH site, is education and training. Do you see an opportunity? Yes. Demographics, globalization, technology are intertwined, and the nexus is for us, trainers and adult educators. Converging issues, opportunities, Western productivity values shape response to education and response to social justice. That's us. That's what we can do. And so much job security is really ephemeral right now. So we need to create that job security, right? Knowledge is the current capital. We as trainers and adult educators can wrap our arms around that knowledge and help our organizations to move forward. That's our solution. That's their solution. And ladies and gentlemen, do you see an opportunity for you? Yes, the answer is yes. There has truly never been a better time for adult educators and trainers. Consider the possibilities and where you want to be. What opportunity is best for you? We have come such a long way from this classroom that actually some of us probably remember. Maybe not with slates, but those desks probably look familiar. How far can we go? Well, now that depends on how well we teach and train. Yes, we are already in the future. Now is your opportunity.